may I acknowledge our honorable House leaders led by Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Ronnie Bipuno of Antipolo, from the Chairman of the National Unity Party, Deputy Speaker Janet Garin of Iloilo, from Lakas CMD, Deputy Speaker Ribgeni Bambi Imano of Misamis Oriental, House Committee on Food and Agriculture Chairman Mark Enberga from NPC, House Committee on Tourism Chairman and Romblon Representative Eliandro Jesus Budoy Madrona from Nationalista Party, House Committee on Public Order and Safety Chairman and Manila Representative Roland Valeriano from Nationalista Party, and of course, Palawan Representative Jose Pepito Alvarez from Nationalista Party, and of course, no, I forgot NPC, Nationalista, Nationalist People's Coalition, and of course, Chairman Imberga from NPC also. Okay, to begin with, may I call on Deputy Speaker Puno. Sir.
Thank you, Ryan. We just came from a very lengthy meeting of party leaders. No, we have been watching all of the developments, of course, like you, and we have been constantly talking to one another, even late at night, no, to discuss the problems that have arisen with respect to this 2026 budget. As you know, last week or even earlier, we went to you and explained to you our misgivings about the 2026 budget with respect to the Department of Public Works. How the district budgets all over the country were mangled, and how really serious questions needed to be raised about those budget entries. We raised questions about whether or not the DBM was handling the budget preparations properly, and whether or not what was coming to us was a result of irresponsibility or some oversight that maybe can be justified, no? And we worked, frankly, with the DBM very closely on how to settle all of these things. But, you know, certain serious developments have come about. No? I mean, the Secretary of Public Works has been relieved, of course. He has resigned. And our new, very energetic Secretary of DOTR has become also the new Secretary now of DPWH, which has resulted in the President's instructions to them to do a sweeping review of everything, not just the organization, but also of the budgets that they had submitted. Now, we will recall that in the SONA of our President, he said that he would not allow the national expenditure program of the national government to be mangled, you know, to be disfigured. He said that if that was going to happen, he was going to, you know, accept a reenacted budget instead. He would not, you know, tolerate any of these things happening. So it's in this spirit that we came together and we were talking to one another. And we want to be true to what the President wishes from our House of Representatives. You know, frankly, I am the newest member here. I just came back to Congress this term. So a lot of the issues that were being discussed about prior years, I really was not very familiar with until I was actually briefed by our colleagues here. But I frankly was shocked because, you know, from 2004 when I was here, a lot of things have apparently happened. So, you know, like flood control projects, you know, in tens of billions of pesos, were suspicious. No, there were double entries, there were missing entries, suddenly emerging entries. There were double appropriations. There were oversized lump sum nationwide allocations. So, in the beginning, we were thinking this is maybe just public works, no? But, you know, we have been slowly going over the other agencies as well. little by little, some things have been appearing, no, and surfacing. In the DILG, for example, where, as you know, I have some experience, some questions, again, recently were raised about, uh, purchase of firearms and whether or not they were in the budget. There was supposed to be an 8 billion entry or insertion in the budgets. Frankly, we have been looking for the item in the 2025 budget for an 8 billion purchase. We didn't so far see it, unless DBM can produce it for us. In the 2026 budget, it's not there either. So we don't know where that whole discussion is coming from. So in the National Unity Party, we have requested Congressman Roland Valeriano, who is head of the Committee on Public Order and Safety, to assess the situation, maybe call a hearing, invite the people concerned to see what is this matter that we are talking about here. Because frankly, the congressmen are in the dark about this. So, how do we move forward when what has been given to us is very difficult to deal with? For example, in the Department of Public Works, for example, just in our National Unity Party, I've reported to you already previously that maybe 90% of the district budgets were really mangled. In discussions with the other parties, it appears to be a common experience rather than a rare experience. There are already other things we are coming up with in other agencies. No, I will advance to you the information that in the Department of Agriculture, there are indications of similar problems, specifically with reference to farm-to-market roads in the amount of something like 10 billion pesos. No? And we are getting reports that these were also like peddled, no, to certain parties. There are other concerns, very many concerns that have been raised in our party leaders meeting. So we have decided as a group to recommend the return of the 2026 national budget to the DBM because we do not know how to deal with it. We have to practically redo the entire submission to us, and we do not want to be suspected of any untoward action. We don't want it to appear that we are not accepting the rightful recommendations of the DBM, and on the other hand, we do not want to be accused of also of replacing or amending by errata a huge portion of the national expenditure program that they have submitted to us. So we have decided that in good conscience, we cannot begin deliberations on this national budget, and we owe it to all of you that that this is allocated properly, transparently, free of corruption, and we believe that at this point, the national expenditure program submitted by the DBM falls short of that standard. So we are recommending to the Speaker that we return the 2026 NEP to the DBM, and we are asking our members now to refrain from any further participation in any other budget hearings until this matter is resolved. Okay? There's been enough and too much distrust already going around, especially with respect to the House of Representatives. And we do not want this thing to continue, so we toss it back to the DBM so that they can find a logical explanation and resolution to all of these things. Now, the question has been asked. We asked our House Legal Counsel, as we are wont to do in situations like this, whether this is possible. Can we return the NEP to the DBM? So, and this is the initial opinion given to us, and we will give you copies of this, but allow me to read it to you. In light of the admissions publicly made by the department secretaries that there are erroneous entries in the National Expenditure Program transmitted to the House of Representatives, the House will be justified in returning the same to the Department of Budget and Management so that it can effect corrections so that the House can deliberate on the budget that actually reflects the proposal, intent, and desire of the executive. There is nothing in the Constitution or in the law that prevents the House from undertaking the action. In fact, the action becomes necessary at this time. It is in the interest of the public that this must be done. Under the Administrative Code of 1987, subsequent to the submission of the budget to Congress, the President may transmit to the Congress from time to time such proposed supplemental or deficiency appropriations as are, in his judgment, number one, necessary on account of laws enacted after the transmission of the budget, or number two, otherwise needed in the public interest. This is an option available to the DBM too, is to appeal to the President regarding these powers. This would entail piecemeal corrections, however. Returning the document for corrections will be more systematic and practical. And instead of us having to correct the district budgets of more than 250 districts, perhaps the DBM can now do what it should have done in the first place and correct these matters before they send it to us. So this is the position that the party leaders have taken, and we hope that you will all understand our intention that this thing be resolved correctly and properly. We in the House were the ones who first discovered all of these things. Now, many people are now, of course, echoing our concern about these matters. We do not believe that we should fix what other people caused. No, we are not the ones that should fix the problems that have begun in other places. The departments are pointing fingers at the DBM. The DBM is pointing fingers at the other departments. We feel they should settle their disputes first, come up with the correct budget formulations before they send them to us, so that we can, reasonably proceed on the path that is required moving forward. So we are all here to take any questions on these issues that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Puno. Gab Lalu from Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Doesn't this assure na parang reenacted na yung budget? Technically, sir, parang magiging reenacted na yung budget kasi yung time frame iikli. Tapos, kasi ibabalik sa DBM, tapos iaayusin pa nila, tapos ibabalik din sa House. Parang medyo alanganin na ba yung na mapasa yung budget within this year?
Well, to be honest with you, actually there is the common feeling that maybe it's a good idea if the President be the one to decide these things so that all of these mistakes will be avoided, no? Ayaw namin na kami masisisi dito eh. Na naman, ano? Kasi bibigyan kami ng problema eh. Ang binigay sa amin problema. Na bawat distrito kailangan baguhin, kailangan i-correct. Tapos pag kinorek namin yan, sisisihin na naman kami for whatever else will happen after that. What they should do is come up with a budget that when it comes to Congress, to the House of Representatives, kukunti na lang ang kailangan ayusin ulit. But what we are looking at now is a budget that we, in a very, very real way, have to amend in huge portions, no? And I don't believe that is what's called for from the House of Representatives.
Sir, I understand last Friday, may mga sinabi kayo tungkol dun sa mga projects na tapos na, pero may pondo pa rin sa 2026 NEP. Pero lahat po ba yung mga nakita nyo, ganun ding situation na parang tapos na pero may pondo pa? Or is it the case of hindi ito yung pre-propose ng district offices namin, ng mga departments?
Well, iba-iba, siyempre, no? Pero yun ang mga examples, yun ang mga pangyayari sa mga individual budgets. Siguro the other party members can also address this, no? Pero sa NUP, ganun ang nangyari. One or the other, or both of those examples you gave, nandun sa bawat district budget. Ngayon, kailangan gawin dyan, palitan namin lahat. Di ba? Hindi na submission ng DBM yon.